Power and energy, the key to human activity. People need energy to maintain their bodily processes and for the power of doing work. In the modern world, we have created energy needs on a vast scale. To provide the power we need to make life possible, we depend on huge accumulations of energy, such as oil and gas. For much of our energy needs in Britain, we are committed to the use of natural gas, a clean and highly efficient fuel which has become a vital part of our domestic, commercial and industrial life. British Gas plays a key role in the provision of the country's energy needs, being one of the largest single gas production and supply companies in the world. At present, Britain has sufficient reserves to meet its needs, but over the next 25 years, further sources must be discovered to maintain this level and to cope with increasing demand. The quest for gas must continue. For centuries, people have been constantly looking for new supplies of energy. Explorers wandering as far afield as China encountered natural gas seepages in ponds and marshes, and many reported the miraculous properties of this mysterious substance. Random probing of the ground was once sufficient to fascinate the explorer's interest. But now we have a new breed of explorers, probing new frontiers, miles into the Earth's crust. They are the geologists, geophysicists and petroleum engineers who are seeking huge subterranean stores containing trillions of cubic feet of gas. Key characters in the modern drama of natural gas exploration. A large and complex enterprise demanding expert knowledge, a gambler's instinct and the courage to face unknown hazards. The story of gas exploration is a fascinating account of a bold and arduous undertaking, which begins in the violence and turmoil of the Earth itself. Millions of years ago, back through geological time, before written history began, seas and swamps covered large areas of the Earth. The organic remains of a vast animal and plant life fell as a constant rain to the seabed, where they mingled with the sediment deposited by land erosion. Through eons, layer upon layer of sediments, thousands of feet thick, built up, and the deeper layers were subject to tremendous forces of temperature and pressure. These sedimentary layers hardened into rock, and their organic contents were transformed into substances rich in hydrogen and carbon, fossil fuels known as hydrocarbons, or oil and gas. In some areas, movements in the Earth's crust produced huge folds and faults in the rock layers. Pressure from above squeezed the hydrocarbons out of the lower source rocks, and they moved upwards through the layer until their pathway was blocked by a layer of impermeable rock, through which they could not flow. The faults then created a variety of hydrocarbon traps, the most common of which was the anticlinal dome, whose crests formed vast reservoirs of oil and gas, not as pools, but actually contained within the porous reservoir rock. The idea of gas or oil contained within rock might seem absurd, especially as the rock looks solid to the naked eye. Microscopic inspection reveals that sandstone, which is one type of reservoir rock, is made of individual sand grains separated by pores, which contain the oil or gas. If these pores were sealed off from each other, the hydrocarbons would remain locked in place, unable to flow, But if the rock is both porous and permeable, oil or gas can flow freely through the pores. Viewed from above, the anticlinal dome, which may contain gas, is seen as a vast saucer-shaped area existing beneath the Earth's surface and covering an area larger than many British cities. It is these unique features that we must find in the search for oil and gas. But today, no one can simply probe into the Earth's crust as their fancy takes them. All exploration must begin with a license obtained from the national government owning the rights to explore and produce hydrocarbons. British Gas has taken a key role in discovering and commercially testing gas fields north, west, south and east of the United Kingdom. The gas fields beneath the seas around Britain supply a network of resources and reserves for a major part of our energy needs. The larger and more easily identifiable gas fields have already been discovered, such as Morecambe, which contains an estimated 5 trillion cubic feet of gas. So the challenge continues. By increasing the tempo of exploration into less accessible fields, British Gas will continue to supply a major part of our energy requirements. Only with continuing exploration can the future of the industry be assured. Exploration is clearly the key to the future. But exploration is also a major gamble. The stakes are very high. It costs millions of pounds to drill each exploration well in the North Sea and hundreds of millions to put a production platform over it, and the odds are stacked against success. Only 1 in 5 wells in the North Sea is a commercial discovery which is well above the worldwide average. British Gas has made discoveries in 1 in 3 of its wells in the past 20 years. So, right from the beginning, there is an awesome pressure on all those involved to reduce the risks of failing. Geologists take the first step with a geological mapping of the Earth's surface in a broad search for the features favourable to the formation of gas deposits. In some areas, they may identify geological features indicating possible subsurface traps, but most deposits lie so deeply hidden that there's no hint on the surface of what lies below. So a vast amount of data gathering and interpretation has to be done. However, geologists and geophysicists must accept the challenge and use all available techniques to define certain areas as favourable for hydrocarbon accumulation. Through geological time, there's been a continually changing pattern of land and sea. So the hydrocarbon traps could exist anywhere throughout the world, and the geologist might pinpoint any surface environment for subsurface exploration. It's up to human ingenuity to find ways of gaining access to all these locations regardless of the hazards, and to find ways of determining the subsurface picture. Geophysicists generally achieve this by projecting shock waves down into the Earth, known as the seismic technique. On land, they apply huge vibrator pads directly to the ground, or explode dynamite charges in underground shot holes.